Welcome back, folks. Today we're tackling a big one. We're building a queen-size bed from scratch in only 2 days. Store-bought beds are expensive, boring, and not nearly as cool as being able to look at your friends and say, huh, yeah, I built that. So can we tackle this one ourselves? Is it worth it? Do I even know what the hell I'm talking about? Let's find out. So for step one, we're going to be gathering these materials. Here are the tools you'll need to complete this project. So yesterday was day 0. We found a farmhouse bed online that we really liked. After we modified our drawing and our dimensions, we were ready to go purchase some lumber. Now we did have some lumber that was donated to us from a family friend. And by the end of day 0, we had purchased the rest of our materials from the big box store.
Wait, why are you calling it day 0? You said it would only take 2 days.
Look guys, it's hard to build a bed in 2 days. Let me have this one. All right, so it's day 1. The goal for today will be to get as far as we can on the woodworking because tomorrow we have to give ourselves time to allow for the painting. I think I'm going to start with the headboard, then move on to the footboard, and hopefully the bed frame if I don't run out of time today. So let's see how far we can get. For our headboard, we'll start by cutting the vertical slats, followed by the 2 boards that will run horizontally at the top and bottom. We'll use the router to radius the edges of the vertical slats, and that's what gives the joints some depth. Then we'll assemble using wood glue and brad nails. We'll also rip some 2x4s to create 2 1.5 by 1.5 squares cut to the same length as the vertical slats. These will be used later to connect the back of the headboard to the bedposts. For the bedposts, we're using 2 8-foot long 4x4s, which I plane to a 3x3 and I crosscut to 54 inches long. Planing the 4x4s removed a lot of the imperfections in the wood. The 1.5 inch square strips we created were then used to connect the headboard assembly to the posts with screws. Lastly, we cut a 2x4 and a 1x4 for the top of the headboard. The 1x4 was connected using screws that we sunk in from above. The 2x4 was connected using screws sunk in from below, utilizing the ledge that we created by overhanging the 1x4. Pro tip, make sure you're measuring twice and only cutting once. Otherwise, you have to be okay with making from the scraps of wood that you ruined. So I completed the headboard and I went straight into the footboard. Now, for the footboard, it's basically a mini version of the headboard. So the only real difference is the height. It's the same process. It's the same level of fun, but with fewer boards. It's basically a mini headboard for your dog. Here's some pictures of the progress. So headboard, check. Footboard, check. Now it's time to build the frame. Remember, the dimensions for a queen size bed are 60 inches wide by 80 inches long. So make sure you're factoring that in as you build out the frame. You don't want to make the frame too small, your mattress won't fit. You also don't want to make the frame too large, because then your phone, your dog, or an elderly person could fall into oblivion. To build the frame, we cut 3 2x4s to roughly 84 inches long. We used the router to cut 1.5 inch deep mortises about 9 1/4 inches from the bottom of the bedposts. We did this on all 4 bedposts as this will be the main support for the 2x4 structure. We cross-cut the 8x1 board to the appropriate lengths and connected them to the 2x4s using a series of glue, brad nails, and screws. We created the center support beam by using ripped pieces of 2x4s in order to add legs that will support the center beam. Finally, we ran horizontal slats across the 2x4s to form the support. This is what will hold the mattress up, and these were connected using screws. That's as far as we got on day one. I feel pretty good about it. I think that we can get this project completed tomorrow, but only time will tell. So stay tuned. All right, plan for today. We're going to run to the store and pick out some paint. I think we're going to do like a light blue color. That's what Maggie said she wanted. And from there, we'll come back, do some sanding, and get to painting on Maggie. Oh, baby. All right, so I'll walk you through what we did today. We started with sanding. So we sanded down the wood. We started with 60 grit sandpaper to try and remove some of the deeper gouges and imperfections in the wood. From there, we kind of worked our way up to 100 grit. Now, some of the areas we did have to come back and put wood filler and kind of go through a couple iterations of wood filler, sand, until we were able to get those imperfections smooth again. And from there, we're really ready to paint. So for the painting process, we started by blowing off the wood with compressed air, basically just to remove the sanding dust from the sanding process. Once the wood was prepared, we began painting. The first coat we put on pretty thin. We allowed it time to dry. Once it was dry, we came back and looked for any drip marks or imperfections and kind of sanded those down smooth. From there, we applied the second coat and really repeated the process until we applied the third and final coat of paint. All right, the moment of truth. We're putting it all together. Drum roll, please. Here we have a custom queen bed built with my own 2 hands. All that's left for us to do is throw on 88 throw pillows. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to my 2 subscribers. You are the OGs. If you think about it, you found this channel before anyone else, so you're onto something. No, but really, the subscription doesn't really do anything for me. It just makes me feel good. So if y'all can do that, I'll be encouraged to keep making some videos like this. And until next time, stay awesome and stay creative. Thank you.